welcome back to Bite of Whiskey, and today we've got an update from the Capital Wasteland Project we're gonna check out. Alright, so it's been 3 long years since the last update to this mod, minus small releases like the different grenades and mines, frag, pulse, and plasma, and assorted weapons that they've released in individual mods, and also the creators that got to play the point and lookout thing. But what the Capital Wasteland is, it's a remake of Fallout 3 and Fallout 4. 100% from the ground up, remaking it all. The assets, textures, even voice acting has having to be done by scratch. And so this is an incredibly ambitious project for a bunch of people to take on. This is a pretty big update. They stopped doing monthly updates. They're kind of too big a deal to implement just whenever, you know, once a month. That's gonna cut back on development time. We don't want that. They don't want that. I'm sure you don't want that either. So can't blame them for not giving us monthly updates, even if we want them. February 1st, late February 1st, they dropped this update for all of us. So we're gonna just dive right on in. All right, as we can see with the scripting and gameplay, scripting menus, etc., the first sentence right here: weapons have proper degradation and will break if not maintained. Good God, does that feel good to have back? Oh my God! Wow! Gone are the days of Fallout 4's unbreakable, undemolishable weapon systems that you just grab and modify and tinker with, and they never break. Sorry, new fans to the franchise, if you're gonna play this, you're gonna have to suffer with the rest of us. So you've got to maintain your gear again, which is awesome, and I'm hoping that they implement it for armor as well, because that was another part of the game as well. You had to maintain your stuff. If you didn't, your damage threshold on armor would go down. Your damage on your weapons would go down as well, but the likeliness to have a misfire or a jam would go up. So for the time, this was really good. This is almost like Stalker-ish levels. Almost. Stalker, it's pretty simple in comparison, but it's good for what it is. It also made you think about what you were going to carry and what perks you were going to get, because it wasn't just about upgrading things anymore. It was about maintaining what you had. So that being said, you had to upgrade your repair skill. And your repair skill dictated how much of the weapon degradation, the weapon damage, you could actually repair. Not the damage you're doing, i.e. the damage that the weapon has taken from use. Say hello to my little friend! So if you had a 65, for example, it's not exactly like this, but if you had a repair skill of 65, you could only repair that weapon up to 65. In New Vegas, there's only one vendor that has a repair scale of 100, and he is all the way at the Mojave Outpost. It's a long damn way to go, man, just to repair my 10 mil. So it was really important, especially in Fallout 3, to actually, I think there were 2 vendors that had high repair skills. One of them was a wandering trader, so you never knew if you were going to run into him at a town or not. So you didn't even have a set location to go to. I can't remember off the top of my head where a actual set vendor was that had a repair skill of 100. But it was a lot cheaper to do the repairs yourself. And that mean you had more caps for better armor, better weapons, ammo, you know, and meds, because you didn't really have to eat in this game. It wasn't like New Vegas or Fallout 4 or Survival where you had to take care of your basic needs. You didn't really have to do that. I got shot in the fucking face. We'll just drink a Nuka-Cola and have a sweet roll. You'll be okay. That's basically how this game was. There were actual specific perks as well that helped you repair things. One of my favorite ones from Dust and my OP Dust setup, right? Dust is another mod for Fallout New Vegas, like Frost. Jury rigging. You get jury rigging, you get the shish kebab, and you get a bunch of just knives. Jury rigging allows you to repair items with similar items. So instead of, you know, the Lincoln repeater not being able to be repaired unless you found other repeaters which were only in Point Lookout, you can now repair them with basic hunting rifles. And the Lincoln repeater is a damn good weapon in Fallout 3. And right here we can see in this screen cap right here, their repair skill right here is 30. They got a good amount of caps, but they can only repair up to 30, right? So this is, I don't know why the missile launcher is only doing that much damage. That is sad. But The next thing we're going to talk about is the level up menu. It looks like we've gone back to the classic system, which so much of us love so much more than Fallout 4. It's as intuitive as Fallout 4's could be. We're not going to talk about 76. The older games had a more broken down system for leveling up. As you can see right here, you had your skills. If you wanted to use big guns, you didn't take a big gun perk, you put points into big guns. If you wanted to lockpick, you didn't take a lockpick perk, you put points into lockpick. Medicine, healing, instead of taking the medic perk. So they're similar, but different. Yeah, it looks like the level up menu is about the same. We can see we got the lady killer perk, which not the one you actually want when it comes to Fallout 3. Just pro tip for those of you that may return to it, you pick a female and you get the female version of that, which is the Black Widow perk. That is the better option in Fallout 3. Fallout New Vegas adds a little bit more diversity in your builds because you have an equivalent of that perk for male characters. You don't in this. The reason you pick a female go lady killer in Fallout 3, there are more male NPCs than female NPCs. And right there, that 10% damage against female opponents doesn't really help you if you're a male, but if you're a female, adds up. And the Karma tab is back. Now, that is something that some people like and some people don't. I personally don't mind the Karma tab. Fallout New Vegas, in my opinion, did a better job with its reputation system, but the Karma tab was fun as well, versus Fallout 4 that really doesn't show you anything. I don't even think you have Karma in Fallout 4, to be honest with you, but either way, it is what it is. But the Karma system is back. What that means in Fallout 3 is if you're neutral, you're good to go. If you are good Karma, then Talon Mercs are coming after you. If you are bad Karma, then you're gonna have the Regulators. I believe they're called the Regulators. Mount up, bitches. The Regulators are gonna come after you. Now that's fun. That's fun right there.
Nice.
Essential NPC Ragdoll Knockdown. So in Fallout 3 and in Fallout 4, you have a lot of NPCs that are tagged as essential, meaning they cannot die, but you can knock them out. Now that results in some hilarious situations. If you've seen many a True Nerds Kill Everything run, where he had one of the vendors from Rivet City who was tagged essential for, I don't know, I guess he was tied to one of the Paradise Falls quests. An essential NPC was running around taking down everything in the wasteland. Eventually he was going to win because he's immortal, but he'd get his ass kicked so much. And we can see we've got the old gene projector UI for your create a character, and you're gonna pick things, and then I don't know if they're gonna do sliders. Well, yeah, they don't show it here. I don't know if you're still gonna do sliders or just grab and pull like you do in Fallout 4 and Fallout 76. That's a little more intuitive way to create a character, is to actually grab parts, move them around, you know, have your nose like up here and shit, and an eyeball hanging down, and just make a Picasso character or whatever. But the old UI is back. That's good news. I like to see it. Anybody who really loves the old game loves to see it. I fucking can't wait for this shit to come out. When it comes to Fallout, like Stalker, one of the big things with it is atmosphere. And when it comes to an atmosphere that actually made you feel like you were in a dangerous, scary wasteland, Fallout 3 had the best one of the bunch. Now, it may have been because of that green tint, it may have been because all NPCs, including animal NPCs, weren't all aligned against you, basically. They would actually fight each other in the wild. If a Deathclaw saw a fucking Yaoguai, they'd actually fight. Now, if we look, there we go, the scenic overlook, which you will see right when you walk out of the vault. I didn't even read right there, Vault 101 exit and scenic overlook. And Springvale right there. It looks like they don't have the green filter over everything, which maybe you'll be able to turn it off. I know you can have an E&B that puts that back if you're feeling really, really nostalgic. It definitely looks sexier, much sexier. Overlook on Paradise Falls. You can see that's a little bit more of the greenish look. Dukov's place, that is a safe haven approaching, so that's downtown. It looks really good. They are putting a lot of work in this, and remember, as you can tell, like, these buildings are built in the style of Fallout 3, not so much Fallout 4, so you have more of their original aesthetic in this than you do with the more like 50s retro future that Fallout 4 has. Now, this is a location, Vernon Square Ruins. This is where you're gonna fight a bunch of super mutants. I know Fallout 3 a little too well, don't I? maybe a little bit. You can see it definitely looks like Fallout 3, but the textures are a lot better. The actual models are better as well. There's the God Rays. Gotta have the God Rays. Vault-Tec HQ. There's that iconic green filter. I'm gonna bring it up every time I see it just because it is such a part of building the atmosphere of Fallout 3. The older Fallouts, New Vegas and Fallout 3, used filters to kind of dictate where you were in the world. DuPont Circle. There's a big fight that happens in DuPont Circle as well. Big Town. Oh my God, Big Town. Yeah, and even the houses right here are looking Fallout 3. So they are really being faithful to how it looks. The Red Rocket looks like the original Red Rocket, where it was just a place you pulled up and filled up. Potomac Riverbed east of Big Town. Campment outside of Big Town. Oh, that is. So the interior level design team has been making huge progress recreating loads of iconic interior locations to flesh out the world. That means tunnels, and these are tunnels that Fallout Frost wish they had. The DC Underground Metro was ridiculous, and you can see right here, that's some of the tunnels right here. More of the tunnels. I remember, like, you needed to plan an excursion, not just like you would in survival Fallout 4 where you want food and water. And if they implement that, holy hell, this is cream my pants good. Ammo alone you needed to actually plan out, because Fallout 3, I don't know if they'll still have it that way, but Fallout 3, you could not really one-shot kill a lot of things. You couldn't get a build that multiplied crits like you can in New Vegas or even in Fallout 4. A high DPS character was the way to go if you were going to try and kill things quickly instead of a high damage character. So ammo was a big thing that you wanted to plan out when you were going into the tunnels, and they are looking good. Like, it's a good mix between Fallout 4's graphics and the look and feel of Fallout 3. Yeah, that's Rivet City right there. Yep, there's the bar area in Rivet City. Billy Creel's house, this is in Megaton, and everything looks more broken down and rusted and tattered in it. And that was part of the vibe that Fallout 3 had versus Fallout 4, as everything looked more desperate. The armory, you can see the hunting rifles over there. Oh, and the Chinese assault rifles. That's one of the earliest places you can get your hands on one of those. Our Lady of Hope Hospital, if I remember right. That's not something you want to wander into as a low level. And the Rangers compound. Yes, and I'd have to agree with this statement right here. It does have that Fallout 3 vibe. There's dust in the air. It looks dirty and dingy and grungy. And, you know, I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'm not going to lie. I'm really liking what I'm seeing. Eulogies pad. And then we roll down to assets. So they have around 2,500 new assets in Capital Wasteland and still many more to go. And this person, Saros, is hard at work doing it, from rubble to machinery, etc., etc. The rubble piles definitely look very classic. Machinery looks more classic. Okay, they're dumping it in Paradise Falls, or not Paradise Falls, Sanctuary Hills to show it off. Yeah, no, I'm enjoying it. And this is what I was talking about earlier. They recently released the classic frag mines and grenades, as you can see here. And there's the pulse, and then we have the plasma as well. Just they are doing a lot of work. And there's the bobbleheads. Look at them actually bobbling, which I don't even think they did originally. There's the Brahmin, the aliens, of course, that you really didn't need to do too much. You could just port them over from Fallout 4, but definitely looks good. All right, so that's going to end the update. Their Twitter and their Discord I'll have linked in the description. Actually, the pinned comment. We're going to put it in the pinned comment, so that if you're interested, you can follow along. I'm going to be doing updates as they do them, as the Fallout 4 New Vegas does it, and the Miami as well. A bunch of the big Fallout Project mods. We're going to go ahead and give updates to those. Let me know if you're looking forward to it down in the comments. If you don't give a damn and you hated Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas is the only thing you want to see redone, then go ahead and throw that in the comments as well. I apologize. I'm sick, recovering from the coof, but I appreciate all of you watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you all next time.